This week on the Black Stump Outback Special. Our fuel troubles continue as we coast our way into the next town, before we get distracted by a sign that said Birdsville is only 383 kilometres away. Mechanical issues and cow-shaped obstacles ensue, but we drive on through the night with Big Red on our mind. Welcome back to the Black Stump Outback Special. You meet us out here at the remote Welford National Park, in the heart of outback Queensland. We've just set up camp on the bank of the Barcoo River. It's getting late in the arvo, but we're going to head for a drive through the desert section of the park and hopefully find something to climb where we can watch the sun go down.
Under my skin, make sure
Just to update you with where we are on the trip, we're still having fuel issues. Darcy has a quarter tank left in his Jimny in the tank, which is 10 litres, plus one 20-litre jerry can, and after this drive we still have another 100 k's to go to the nearest servo, because we couldn't get fuel in episode 1. And then I've got just over a quarter in the BC50, so a bit over 20 litres, and then Ryan's got heaps, so yeah, it should be interesting to see if we can make it, but looking forward to the rest of the trip.
try to conjure the wind and ease my mind.
Right, I've hit the button now.
We're just up on the sand dune, waiting for the sun to go down. Just got a couple of snacks and yeah.
Somebody call out to your brother, he's calling out your name. Hiding under the covers with no one else to blame. You couldn't help out your own neighbor, you couldn't tell it to his face. You were fucked up by the blame. You cower in the corner, confide in your father. Let it out inside. Let it pass away.
So since we decided to watch the sunset up on the sand dune, we now have the remaining 35 kilometres of the desert drive and back to camp as a night run. But that actually is pretty cool, and I'm very keen to see what all the red dirt and desert landscape looks like under spotlights.
Every day she takes a morning bath, she wets her hair, wraps a towel around her as she's heading for the bedroom chair. It's just another day, slipping into stockings, stepping into shoes, dipping in the pocket of her raincoat. It's just another day.
After packing up camp, we set off to Windora to get some much needed fuel. We were then planning to head back east to Addervale and on to Hellhole Gorge. But as you'll see pretty soon, we got just a little bit distracted and changed plans pretty drastically.
It's just another day. It's just another day. So sad.
So just a bit of a fuel update. Just past the sign, it is We're like 30 k's out of town now. My distance to empty is reading 48 kilometers, so fingers crossed the engineers at Mazda have got that one right and I'm not going to run out. And Darcy back there in the Jimny, I assume is going to be rolling into town on fumes because he put in the 20 litre Jerry this morning and that was basically all the fuel in the car. It was at this point we got very distracted when we saw a sign saying Birdsville was only 383 kilometres away. With fresh fuel in the tanks, not enough time to make it there before dark, and nowhere to camp in mind along the way, we ignored common sense, turned our convoy to the west and put the foot down. Alright, so we just pulled over to get the drone up and noticed Darcy's shock is no longer bolted to his car. How did you not feel that, Darcy?
You know, coil springs.
Shock bolt and Jimny snapped, and we don't have a spare bolt. Out comes the shock, and we continue.
Pack my boot up and drive. Everything that's necessary for my life. My jacket, tools and tyre repair kit. It makes me look the part, but in Bridgestone I'll sit driving through the quiet rural towns. A novelty sized fruit stands with nobody around. Cattle station hums into the night. But I ain't seen nothing yet, yes sir.
So I thought I'd do a little update on our progress so far this Arvo. So we're heading from Windora through to Birdsville on what I believe at the moment is the Birdsville Developmental Road. So it's about 300, 400 kilometres of really dusty, really dry, super flat, unsealed highway. And yeah, currently cruising at 108 kilometres an hour. Haven't aired down because it does go sealed occasionally, so we're just running road pressures at the moment. But otherwise, just cruising along, really enjoying life, and yeah, we'll keep you updated.
The sun at my back when I wake.
Dead silence.
Rain seesaws, is this a big mistake? Constant phone calls.
The Bush servo.
It's nothing personal, I just need people drown.
So we had a look at a few free camps 100 k's out of Birdsville, and we decided we didn't really want to stay at any of them. They weren't that great. So we decided to push on to Birdsville through the night. Sun's just gone down now. We've got like 80 k's left to go. So it should just be a night run from here yet again.
Tormenting the great desert with its tantalising show. The UHF, the Grappler's hard.
About to be stormed by a million cows running straight at me. Yeah, they don't look like stopping yet. If I was you, Darcy, I would be particularly worried about the Jimny's resemblance to a small female cow.
Why are they so dumb?
There's something I feel in my guts and in my blood. I wanna rattle my cage. I'ma keep on rolling till it's done.
As I'm driving along, I'm thinking like, oh, it's not that dark because I've got the spotlights. But then thinking back about Ryan and Darcy back there, both without spotlights, they are basically seeing this, but probably worse. And Ryan also doesn't have a bar, so we're just gonna send it anyway. And before someone comments to say that that's not very well thought out, well, if you're seeing this video, we must have made it back alive, so how about that? We woke up the next day at a free camp on the outskirts of town. The plan for the day was simple: prep for the desert in the morning, get a palmy from the Birdsville Hotel for lunch, then head out to Big Red for a play in the Arvo. Sand flags are on for the Arvo at Big Red. I've done a pretty quality install with basically just duct tape and 2 zip ties. Darcy has not even secured his, is literally just over his aerial mount and is the most flexible thing ever. Then Ryan, having no bar, is literally just sitting in his tub basically with a couple of zip ties on it.
They got taste in Newport Chew. Everything is A-OK.
And would you believe it, there is no palmy on the menu at the Birdsville Hotel. While we settled for a pretty damn good burger, the local mechanic tried and failed to free the snapped shock bolt with an easy out. After a quick fix of the sand flags, we set off for the Simpson Desert anyway, with our fingers crossed that Darcy's coil spring wouldn't fall out on the sand dunes. Here we are, Little Red, 4-wheel drive, high range, traction control off. I reckon probably should be pretty easy, but we'll see how we go. There we go, Little Red done. So I'm pretty sure because of the wind direction out here, the western face of all the dunes is steeper and more difficult. So I've just got up Little Red now, and now they're gonna give a track on this side to go, which looks a lot steeper and softer than the part we did, because our part was really easy, to be honest. Oh, so close. Ah. That is Little Red done and dusted. Now we're on to Big Red, which you are going to have to wait till the next episode for, but thank you very much for watching this episode, and yeah, keep an eye out for episode 3 and have a good one.
It's definitely not going slow.
Next time on the Black Stump Outback Special season finale, we speed things up a notch with our very own Big Red driving competition.